including line 2, line 10, and line 14. And I know what you're thinking. I'm speechless too, and I've been here before, but every time I come here, it takes my breath away. Just look at this. I feel like I've literally just walked into a science fiction movie. This is just crazy. The design, the architecture, the atmosphere, the technology. This is just one single station on Shenzhen's vast metro system. Can you believe that? I mean, I know at first glance, this may look like an airport. This is better than the UK's best airport. And this is just it's a metro station.
By the way, chat, this is what New York City's subway looks like.
Trade balance and
Yes, I'm fine.
No.
He's dying.
No.
What are you making your environment account, Justin?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
What, do you want to delete it or something?
This is
Nope.
a metro station.
Yeah, Justin, why are you joining us group
And here we have the tolls.
I tried joining you guys, and you guys didn't play with me, and then
Or use the token, and
I've been getting charged for the last 5 years for it. So no more, no mas.
still has
That's not at all how that works.
That's pretty.
No,
That's
we were
pretty much
playing.
how it went down.
City, America's
You dumped hundreds of dollars
We
in
have subway stations
the wrong
that look
account.
like this.
Okay, this guy's helping. Oh, okay, thank you.
I don't know what to tell you.
Now this is propaganda. But by the way, it's not propaganda. This is what New York City subway looks like. It hasn't been improved since 1880. Like, this is the
There's a little bit of a skill issue.
I'm sorry that it pisses you off, but it is true. Vote Cuomo.
Oh.
This shit, make the city worse. Look at that rat.
And in the UK, they've been talking about their high-speed rail line, the HS2, for years, for decades, and nothing gets done. It's just all talk, talk, talk. No action. Meanwhile, in China, they've literally built subway systems in every major city, and there's a high-speed rail network that covers the entire country. And by the way, the UK is smaller than one single province in China, and they cannot even get their act together to make one simple high-speed rail line. I know what the UK should do. They need to talk to China, get some tips from China on how to build high-speed rail. Line 14 is just one of Shenzhen's automated metro lines. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is no driver. Automated lines can operate more frequently with less downtime between trains.
You ever think
improving
property rights were
overall
a mistake?
capacity and reducing
Yes, abolish private property.
Now just come down to Chugong. Just look at this place.
Now you're finally getting it, Seth.
This is just one station.
No, I've been abducted.
Look at the size of this place. It's crazy.
What is wrong with you?
What?
Stations, they're just-
You're like,
I'm just clearing my throat. I just had barbecue sauce, so my throat is like a little glitchy,
I know. We're in the future.
as is normal.
Welcome to the
whatever
future.
you want to say here, bud.
Welcome to Shenzhen.
You and Jared, I
Ever
don't know.
seen
No, do not compare. Do not say those names in the same sentence. Absolutely not.
Hey, if the
This is just
yellow half shirt fits.
Oh my
like
god.
this in the UK. Nothing. Uncomparable. I have now come to Shenzhen Talon Park. Now, I've just ordered a drink to this park. Now, wait till you see the method of delivery. Here we go. And over there you can see some of Shenzhen's famous skyline. You have the bamboo building there standing at 392 meters tall. And although Shenzhen is just scattered with super tall skyscrapers everywhere, you can still see that there's more skyscrapers just popping up and interesting architecture being built. I mean, there's some more skyscrapers over there. The speed at which development takes place here is crazy. And here we are. You see that flying in the sky there? That is my takeaway order. That's my drink there, up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No. It's my why my. Is it Superman? No. Here comes my drink. That is insane. The package has landed. Oh, there's another one. Someone else just ordered something. Let me try. Oh, it's about to take off. It's got to move out of the way. Moving out of the way for another order. Bye bye, Mr. Drone. Thank you for my order.
The funniest thing is the Chinese government calls us moderately
It's in your
prosperous
throat
because
again.
they count everybody in China.
And Jared's coughing too.
Richest city is, that means everybody's doing great.
I think it's because I actually am clearing my throat, and Jared just has like a psychosomatic tink where every time I do it, he feels he has to do it.
This area. So we're
You know how
all
like
moderately
your
rich.
cycles sync up?
Yeah, just like that.
Happens to you and
Care
Jared.
about
Yeah.
the worst places. You deserve it if you're poor in America.
Oh my god, right, let's try. Right, I'm gonna put in the last
There he is
digits of my
again.
phone.
Dude, you need an inhaler.
Democrats want you to fight
I haven't.
Actually, an inhaler.
because they know we can't
Maybe I should take it. I have an inhaler.
we just trade fairly with China.
Maybe what?
we couldn't compete.
I don't know how
So
old
now
it
they
is.
want to
You have one?
escalate a conflict and a war. Which, why the fuck would we want to do that? Whose interest is served?
I don't know how old it is though.
Rich in that war? I think not. You're the cannon fodder to be killed.
Expires. Oh, 8/31/2025.
There it is, there's my package. Came from the skies. Oh, there's another
You're gonna
one
hear
just
shake, shake,
coming
shake.
in. Look at that.
Ugh.
There's another guy. Oh my god, we've built up a bit of a crowd now. Right, it's time to open the
There's
package.
a white guy there.
Oh
Justin
my
Season.
god, Justin. What are you doing?
Justin Season. What are you doing?
I don't know. That did not end up how I wanted it.
What are you playing?
How is this?
You playing Valorant?
possible?
Oh,
There's my drink.
playing cities, man.
Look at this.
Yikes.
Let's try it. Let me
Hey,
just
don't
taste
yikes
to
me.
see if it is indeed
Just
a real
connect
drink.
each one at a time. This whole
No, I like doing the double because no, the problem is they get out of whack if you don't do them together. They get real like weird and glitchy.
Yeah, but
Drink.
It's like, oh, there's a white guy here. What's this white guy
you
doing?
can't.
Well, the problem here is that I don't want it that flat. That's what the problem is. But
People are like, oh, white people.
let me look at some of my bridge options. We can do 5-lane one way.
Western propaganda. So they're like, oh, white people.
How much? Just 3-lane.
That's our propaganda.
Oh my god. Okay.
Believe it. Right, so then once you're
I was in China as a child and people asked for photos
Okay.
of me all the time.
done with the package, you fold it up and then you put it inside there. It gets recycled and used again. This is just, it's surreal.
Hello everyone.
My drink
Thanks
just
so
came
much
from
for
the
joining
sky.
house hunting in CDTN
Hangzhou,
special
China, in one of the
program on China's political season. I'm Zhong Shi, live in Beijing. The third session of the 14th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, China's top political advisory body, will open on Tuesday in Beijing. In a few minutes, officials will hold a press briefing at the Great Hall of the People. Spokesperson Liu Jieyi will brief the Chinese and foreign media and answer questions from journalists. CDTN will bring you live updates from the press conference. Joining me in the
Doing
studio
full-blown Chinese propaganda. They thought Hassan was a Chinese glazer. You ain't seen nothing yet, bitch.
is Liu Baoteng, Dean of the
But how are you
Center
gonna
for
connect it?
International
You can't
Business
connect it by
Ethics
doing the
at
parallel
University of
thing,
International
right?
Business and
What?
Economics, and
Yeah, I can.
Tangen, Senior
How?
Fellow of Taihe
Watch,
Institute
I'll show you.
and Chairman of
No,
Asian
not over there, on the other
In
side.
all seriousness, like, if I were to walk
Oh. Well, that's just because I don't own this land. Once I own this land, it's gonna go that wide all the way to the end.
the news is here.
So it's just gonna be a little janky, really janky here. But it should be fine. Hopefully, let's see.
I don't like this dual mode. It's not good.
I do, dude. I love it. It's so much nicer. Okay, so what percent is this? I hate that. I think that's what, 1%.
What are you on about?
What's the grade? I can't see the grade. It's blocked.
Change your angle,
I can't change the angle.
your perspective.
Okay, 1.1. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay. Let's go to like there.
It was negative. It was going down. Now it has to go back up.
No, this is good. This is good.
3%.
3% grade's not bad, is it? No. 3% grade is fine.
All those trucks are gonna run away.
This is the
Is
biggest
3% grade bad?
No, it's fine.
No, that's good. That's fine. It's
You had a
perfect.
1% grade and you're like, no, I don't like that. So instead, look what you did. Okay, now it goes down, then goes up to go to the bridge.
Well, it goes down slightly.
Yes, but it still goes down.
And then I could do Kamala Harris and Hitler. And then that would
So what? You want me to start it going up all the way back here? I mean, I could do that.
No, I'm just messing.
Well, we'll see. I'll play around with it a little more.
No, I want you to see. I want you to explain to me how this other end is gonna work.
Miles and has a generation capacity of
Oh, this is gonna be fine. Look.
megawatts, powering around 255,000 homes. Now, this is
That's
impressive.
America's biggest renewable energy. Wow, 250,000
8.7.
homes. Wow.
You just gotta make sure
One.
the brakes are good over here.
Miles away in this
That is a little steeper.
Here's a solar facility
That's still fine.
And a merge. Look at the merge.
on Earth. And it's not alone.
You just lose a lane here. And if you keep going, you just plow into the traffic.
Please put a concrete barrier right on the little corner there.
Wait, let me see if I think I can actually. Let me see. Oh, maybe I can't. I could put a pillar
It's roughly the size of 20 central
right here.
and when it's fully
No, I want like one of those warning
supply
things.
16
Oh,
gigawatts
nice.
to roughly 1 million homes. Kabuki's impressive,
And-
but it's just the
Just in case, just to make sure you actually merge.
225
What are like what are those little like
across China's
water
western and
the
northern
water filled
deserts.
things? Can you put
Kabuki
those
and its
down like
sister
traffic?
I don't.
cones or something?
They should let you do that. I think the problem. Let me see.
60% of which
I
we
There has
feel
to be
it's maybe that's a
something.
mod.
Now, that's just
Yeah, it could be a mod.
perspective. That's more
But
akin
this-
to
You're in the
generation
park, you need, like,
capacity that is currently
roadways,
available in any
streets.
nation outside
I
of
think
China.
maybe
A system that large could almost cover India's current energy needs by itself.
they need to do that, where you can like have closed streets or something. Nah, I don't see anything that has to be modded. I think.
Of the United Kingdom,
No.
Australia,
What was in
and
the end?
plus
In the
total
roads.
power
And the
capacity
roads, that one, this is sound barrier.
due to come online within the next year or two.
We could do this. Actually, I can't do that though, because I don't own this.
How is the world's
No, you only need it in that one little spot where it's important.
biggest champion?
Right there.
Matt Farrell. Welcome
It
to
needs to be maybe if you remove
This
the
just in from traffic. If you're
I don't know. Maybe let me see.
you can expect delays
This video
on the
is brought to you
major
by
roads,
Incog.
especially
I think it's because it's where they merge, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's not gonna show up. That stinks.
It's the most pro.
That's what I'm talking. Something like that though.
Yeah. Well, eventually I can put it there, and then that will be the post.
You know, just put like 4 posts
I never
back.
got any.
Oh, here.
We're live
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
on the traffic accident
We already know, as I
We're just
mentioned,
gonna
deserts are great for
Boulder,
in the city.
Road
Can't have a
maintenance,
solar farm without sun, and deserts have a
and
lot of sun.
traffic flow
and then tombstones next to it for all the people that didn't make it.
If you're in it, you already know.
Of desert makes
And a
for
parking
reliable
spot.
wind currents and predictable power generation.
So you can
It all
pay
makes
your
sense.
respects.
I've been a little deceptive.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
A single shot of the Kabuki Desert just now.
Oh, it's not letting me put. Oh, maybe you can't put it on highway.
Danger deserts, which are also in China.
Oh, you can put it
Because of what happens, they
here.
are fifth
Why can't I put it
largest
there?
desert, and it's one of the largest countries in the world. What I'm trying
Can I
to
put
say
it
is
over
that
here?
China
No,
has
I
a
can't
lot of
even put it over
potential.
here.
As we mentioned earlier,
What's the point?
deserts aren't exactly valuable territory.
It's just a decal. Is it an actual parking spot?
Real estate and
Oh, no, it's because it wants you to make one. I can make one, I guess. Let me try.
massive renewable bases. This helps drive down the price of solar and wind power. China has the resources and space to build out a lot of cheap solar and wind energy. But there's more obvious factors at play here too. Back in the 1990s, China saw a financial opportunity in serving Germany's growing demand for solar panels. Thanks to nearby raw materials and the structure of its supply chain, China was able to produce a ton of affordable solar panels. Other solar companies around the world didn't like the government subsidies and incentives the Chinese government was leveraging. In response, many countries imposed tariffs on Chinese.
Can I make it smaller? That's way too big.
However, China was able to pivot and grow its own domestic renewables program. This drove domestic demand for solar panels and turbines. As Chinese economic and industrial power grew, demand for renewables grew right along with it. So how did China build their...
They've been bellyaching and bawling their eyes out about China making cheap solar panels. And here's the thing about this. If you buy yourself a solar system, then you generate your own electricity and you no longer have to buy
There you go.
or oil power or
10 out of
gas
10.
power. You produce that for 25.
I wish they had realistic like traffic accidents in this game.
Worrying about electricity price spikes.
I've never seen one, but they have crazy traffic accidents now.
Just fracked out of Texas or Pennsylvania.
But it's not like realistic where if they crash and the cars could go through each other. It's just sometimes they will literally just go flying off the side of the fucking road.
Straight into the boulder.
Literally, if you have a highway and you have a turn that's too sharp, people will just like fly through it. So there actually might be accidents over here.
Cheap access to lots of green technology, lots of manufacturing power, and lots of land ideal for solar and wind generation. But how China is building these bases is not as interesting as why China is rapidly building these bases. This is a
wanna
big
see
reason
someone
why
crash.
China is going so big on renewables. This is Beijing in 2021. One of the biggest cities and one of the most powerful countries on
You
earth.
see these people like
and it's facing a
tweeting?
crippling
You're like,
blackout.
city is shit.
And this wasn't the only blackout.
Oh, no one's saying that.
Well, that year, the world
What are you talking about?
Service in the city is a
My
joke.
package is taking ages to
Oh.
arrive. The city is a joke.
Yeah, the mail service isn't
When
great.
without there being a traffic jam, there aren't enough employees.
Droughts also meant that the hydroelectric plants
They're all tweeting mean things about
Need
your
someone
city.
in the left lane. Yeah, they're haters.
bad for the Chinese citizens and the country's economy at large. Then there's this.
They better be nice to me on Twitter or I'll start doing Doge cuts. We'll start cutting back on city services.
It's just covered in thick.
And we'll see if they really are happy or not.
Isn't clean. It needs a lot of power, and the fastest and easiest
Feels like there
way
are
to get power
cutbacks
is the
already.
direct
It doesn't feel like it's safe to go out at night. The mayor, liked by the mayor.
If China's massive industrial sector
Okay.
wasn't power-hungry enough,
Okay, so that's probably why. Because this whole area doesn't have police coverage.
from fossil fuels, which results in pollution.
Let's see.
The whole city?
Kind of imagery
I mean the whole
wants to
city center, yeah.
On the subject of fossil fuels, China
Like nothing
is
over
the
here.
second largest consumer of oil. They burn through over 13 million barrels per day in 2023.
Wait, why is it green
While
then?
only
I'm
producing
confused.
around 4 million.
I think it just means that it's not a problem yet. That the buildings are still green. Let me see.
2023.
This is what America wants to happen because we are an oil
They
producer.
have
Where's
private
crime? Yeah, I mean this is actually where all the rich people live, so maybe.
Which comes with a
Where the fuck is police? Oh, here,
Sure would be
police.
great if they weren't reliant on others for their energy needs.
Click
I
that
think you can see where I'm
popo.
going with this. So why is China?
Okay. Oh, because this is a low probable crime area. Low probability of crime.
Protecting the health of their citizens. Energy
But they have no police coverage.
Prestige, just to name a few. Gosh, it's almost like there's a lot of benefits for going green.
No, it does.
And if it's possible for
Okay.
this massive polluter to turn around, can other
Dutch.
countries
We
do
do a
it?
French.
Are there lessons we can learn from China? And what does such a
Japanese.
massive jump in green energy generation mean for the rest of the world?
French
Before
HQ.
talking about how this may impact the rest of the world, there's something else that can impact you directly. And that's what checkout. Low,
Bless you.
60% off Incogni. Thanks to Incogni
I
and
was
to all of
coughing.
you for supporting the channel. So back to what we can learn from China.
You know
the
me,
installation of
just
bases like the
coughing.
one in Kabuki has analysts like those from the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, all but guaranteeing that Chinese emissions and fossil fuel use not only will fall next year, but enter into an extended period of structural decline. This is due not just to those bases coming online, but the growth of
What
other.
that means is China is setting itself up to not only reduce their emissions, but to put them into permanent year-over-year decline to the point where they become 100% carbon neutral. So they'll go from being the top polluter to producing zero.
Yeah, I don't buy that for a second.
For green tech industries in China, like renewable batteries
What?
and electric vehicles. China is
Whatever.
now hitting their
Just
20th.
listen.
China is capitalist, then why?
Bro, we love China around here. Come on.
No, that's some propaganda. Do you know how many coal factories they're continually opening?
Okay, but they're also opening some nuclear ones.
When do I start shoveling chicken into my mouth?
I mean, the United States is just opening nuclear ones so that they can run AI, shitty AI.
It's just not my go-to. I'm a beef boy. You know, like,
Okay, police, let's get policing here.
alright, I like chicken from time to time. It's just not my favorite.
They can't get out because the entire street next to them is parking lot.
2030 reduced emissions goal, 5 years ahead of schedule.
Well, I'm not a fan of these people parking on the streets, but we'll deal with them later.
Industries in China, like renewable batteries and electric vehicles.
Just assign them little
China
parking
is now
spots by the
hitting their
graves.
2030 reduced emissions goal, 5 years ahead of schedule. This gives me hope that they'll be able to hit their zero emissions goal in 2060 as well. If one of the largest consumers of fossil fuels can do it, then the rest of us can too.
It's an interesting
right?
city layout so
More
far.
immediately, all these plants
You don't like it?
should mean less polluted
I said
air,
it's
not just for
interesting.
China.
The only thing that's bad is this is a little wonky here with the rail lines. It's a little wonky.
What stroke did you have?
That's the only thing that's problematic, but besides that, everything's pretty good.
What is wrong with all you have like highways over the middle of nothing, like up in the air for what reason?
Well, these are rail lines. They're rail lines that are suspended in the air because it's easier for rail lines to cut across the highway if they're up already. And I don't think that's bad. I don't think the rail lines up in the air are bad. This is gonna get fixed at some point, but I'm still not sure how.
To much of the world, especially the global south, with its Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. It's
But yeah.
China's attempt to make a sort of
Why is there like a
neo-Silk Road.
dog leg? What does
Basically,
that
China
do?
builds up these countries'
Which one?
infrastructure in exchange
In
for
between the
favorable
two.
access to their natural
It's
resources.
like an X shape.
Oh, this one? This is so that like this is what conjoins these two lines.
Point out that BRI is very
Oh
controversial.
my god.
Proponents in the World Bank have noted that BRI involvement
No, thank
So it
God
connects
that's-
this one to this outside line.
Right, Chad. My sub count is wrong.
Oh, thank God you didn't become like a city planner in real life.
I'm at
I would have been a great city planner, man. I am a great city planner. What are you talking about?
Could you have just made a double wide instead of making two next to each other and then have them crisscross? Could you just make this like 4 wide?
No, I wonder if that's actually possible. I never tried that actually.
the world's economy and gives these countries access to infrastructure development that in many cases wouldn't normally be
These are the morons we have in charge of our actual cities.
Neocolonialism.
Let me see.
Instances where the program negatively
Okay, the music is kind of bad. This song specifically is a thing.
I said the music's good. No, see, that's as close as I can get it.
channels. I'm not
Oh, let me see.
And then this story,
I mean, I guess that might actually be better to have them closer,
trap is a myth.
because then I could bridge them a lot easier.
It's not true.
Wait, run one for a little bit and then try to do the crisscross thing again.
It's not true. Everybody
Let me see.
It's just a talking point people came up with.
Also, wait, why can't you do more than 2 tracks at once?
Europeans that it's bad.
I don't know. They just made it so you can only do 2.
Just like takes approach China people.
If you don't do parallel mode, can you do more tracks?
not going to get into the details of that, but it does bring up a good point.
Oh yeah, it does not like this. Okay, no, okay, that worked. Oh, can I crisscross back? No, that does not like.
Mmm. Well, yeah, you would just do it then further ahead.
Okay, we're gonna end up going with this design. Thank you, Seth. But see, that's what I said. I just needed to get the train line up and working.
Oh my god.
I just needed to get it working, and now we know it works. So we're gonna do a beautification project on the trains later.
Sorry.
But that is cool. I do like that. That is gonna be how it is.
Neighbors
Look
or
at- look at-
allies
look.
simply out of the goodness of their heart.
It's you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about.
With a swastika in his hand in Dusseldorf? Oh. It's somebody made a Somebody made a.
Oh shit, that costs a lot of money. Oh no, it's the police headquarters that costs money. Go.
Okay, yeah, we get it, we get it. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what?
And political strings attached. Is it worth the trade-off for the
No, there's just random train tracks in the middle of it.
What are you going to?
Oh, we're not over here yet. It's fine because we're not over there yet.
What kind of CCP plaza do you have going on there?
Look at this. I'm so proud of this plaza. Look at it. So we have this giant plaza with a ton of parking.
Nothing inside of it. What is inside of it?
Oh no, I think there's shops down in the underneath. But nobody really uses it, but it looks cool. And over here is like this central station, the central train station. So all the lines come in from all over the city to here. And this whole area was designed as like a transit hub. So here is some modern living. Here's the bus station, so you can get off the train, take a bus. And there's subways too. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Wait, where are the subways?
Well, they're underground. The train station has one underground.
But your light rail hits an end and then turns around.
Yeah, it's just, this is a so these living in one of these houses is it's how you feel alive. You know, you're looking out your window and this is what you see. You just see a train coming at you.
I'm getting increasingly convinced Justin doesn't like his people.
No, I do like them.
Oh look, more crime.
It just means we can't ever let Justin become a leader.
I think Justin should be the new
All this
Minecraft.
assumes that what China is doing at home can be replicated elsewhere.
I already am the Minecraft leader.
Yikes.
Always remember, always fit
But yeah,
Like,
this is
using our
more.
resources for half to build
want to
buildings.
make a good
How about
impression.
now?
Okay, well that's
Most of the renewable bases
then okay. If you didn't have a half-built building to live in, you would be homeless. You'd have no building to live in then.
You've never built a building for me. I always build my own building out of dirt and wood every time, and I live in it, and you've never built a house for me ever.
It's because I'm busy building houses for John.
Half of us are living in sleeping bags.
Yeah, we're living like in a hill in sleeping bag.
We're living in sleeping bags in the caves to mine the resources for Justin.
Thousands of hours later, John has like all the electronics. I have the biggest farm I've ever seen and like the best food in the game, and we still don't have like windows on the building.
Okay, then you know what that means? It just means you need to mine more sand so that we can make glass.
How many sand automation did I make you in the last one?
Okay, well, I'm more talking to Jared than you, Seth. You do
took all
get me a
the
lot of
wood I
stuff. You
mined
do get me a lot of
last
stuff.
time And just put it up as a wall. You just put all the wood as like a big wall in blocks of wood. It was so much. It was thousands of wood, and you put it as like a wall that just was there.
Do you know what else I got, Justin, that he didn't use? About 500 beds.
I know. I had.
What was I supposed to do with 500 beds?
I had to make the building to house the villagers in.
So I got you beds of every color imaginable. And you don't want them anymore.
and voltage power lines. However, for the time being, they're actually generating more renewable energy than they can actually use, which is leading to curtailment. All the clean energy generation in the world doesn't mean much if it's not actually replacing fossil fuels. Still,
Why there's so many cars parked on the street over here?
The United States recently passed the Inflation Reduction Act, or the IRA, which directs $500 billion
Do you know what mod pack we
in
need?
spending and tax breaks towards, unsurprisingly, reducing inflation.
Oh, well, which one?
We need a mod pack for Minecraft that's like Capsule Core Jared, where like you push a button, throw a whatever, and it just spawns a house for you.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Yes.
How dare you try to censor what I hear or say? I'm an adult man.
That's what I'm saying.
What the Houthis' arguments are, and then evaluate whether they're true or not. Even if they're an enemy of the United States, I could see, what the Uyghur separatists say, and whether it's valid or not. I I can evaluate Hamas's position or Hezbollah's position or the IDF's position. I can read documents from the United Nations, the International Criminal Court, from Amnesty International. I can form my opinions by doing the research with primary documents. I can read secondary sources and evaluate them. I'm an adult man. I don't need your help censoring what I can and cannot see. You fucking loser, you nanny state bitch. Fuck you. Why are you so scared of people hearing the arguments that I'm making? Because I'm gonna change people's minds that maybe China isn't our enemy and it's insane to do that? And put sanctions all over our own goods and services to make life.
Yeah, dude, actually the radio station on this game is like the best. Because they even like they have a little PSA where they remind people to sit up straight. And it always helps me.
Maybe the fact that you and I can't afford to buy a home.
Justin's slowly getting programmed by the game that he's playing.
Excuse me, 40% more expensive presumers than it was even for millennials at the same age.
Yo, is that a lot of
The fact that
traffic?
none
Is
of
there
you-
log
all
jam
of you
over
have
there?
student loans.
The highway is not really. The highway exists to be. Oh, it's not bad. No, where's the traffic? The traffic's great. Okay. Oh, right here. Yeah, there's a little traffic over here and over here. It's a little backed up. The 90-degree turn onto the highway.
Oh my god, I wasn't even talking. It was one of the donuts. It was very backed up.
Oh, this
Wait,
one.
holy crap, is that backed up?
Oh, this is pretty backed up. Fuck. Why is? Oh, fuck. Goddamn pedestrians.
Maybe you should make a pedestrian walkway.
They look so ugly. Let me try it. Let me see.
I got my bonus overfunded by my job this year and will just pay for the hospital bills I got when my appendix had to be removed. Fucking pathetic.
Let me
This
try
road
it.
might not be
Fuck.
Energy.
It's gonna look wonky, I think. The only way it's gonna be fine is if
Power, we're not too far behind here in the U.S.
You
Our
can
western and
go.
northern
I can
from-
do it without raising it fully. Like I want to raise it like.
Long and allowed.
I mean, if I can do like a 5 across,
Legitimately feel bad for Zoomers. I know
I might be able to do that. Let me see.
but it's fucking pathetic to radicalize in favor of Has-been-Gold and Trump. Have you seen those guys? Women will not touch them without a fucking paycheck attached. Like, what are you doing with your lives? And one of the things that's very funny is people will be like, Mike,
Okay,
I
so
saw something-
5 is not too. Okay, let's lower this.
What happened before that clip?
So let's do 6. Okay, we can get across in 6.
3. Let's do 3. Show me 3 meters.
Do you know?
No, it won't. It won't do 5. 5's too low. 5's too low.
For solar and wind energy.
No, yeah.
What's a
We,
complaint?
it's saying that it's hitting the road.
Insurance cut off the treatment regimen after she started working on the 6-month limit. Like, that's actually legitimate.
Okay, that's not
Can you
bad.
arch it?
I'm sorry.
I don't. I can't. I definitely can't arch that one. I don't think so. I think it has to be straight. There's different types. Let me see. Maybe there's.
Arch it.
String into this one.
Trolling, I would work on like
Oh, look at that. That's interesting.
comfortable, like trust
What the
conversation.
freaky freak?
What is the point of? Oh, this is more maybe for water. I don't know. That one's not very great.
Like that's a real thing.
Okay. Or you can do that one.
That's really sad.
I think I'm gonna go with that one. I kind of like that one better.
Oh yeah, just tell her to chill.
Okay,
the
what
fuck
I was
out.
going to say is, you could have it go
My girlfriend
into one of the empty spots by the
so
sword.
had 3120 says
Does
my
that make
girlfriend
sense?
won't have an orgasm
Like
before
where
the
this road that
date.
you're looking at now
Yeah.
turns right into the circle, you just have the road, the walkway go like into that empty space and then have stairs or something there.
My advice for you is
Okay. Like over here, you're saying like this little corner,
does this feel good? Should I keep doing that?
like there.
Should I what do you know? Like
That's what I'm
opposite
gonna do.
section.
Over there.
No, like right under your camera.
Oh, right under here. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna have to do that. So let's go.
If a woman says that feels good, just keep doing the exact same fucking thing. It's what she tells
Can you just delete that pedestrian walkway actually? Like the crosswalk?
and doing different things. Do the exact same thing. Just keep doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm going to.
installations in many of these places already. And I'm glad the IRA seems to have learned from China's economic incentives, but I hope we go further and create our own fully fledged clean energy base.
Don't worry, Gary. I'm helping fix the city.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Look at it. It's degenerate.
Do we think that's pretty even? Or... Why is it not even?
Are there any homeless people in your city, Justin?
There we go. Yeah, because there's homeless people who live everywhere, Jared. We love them for who they are.
Some might remember that Eastern Bloc women enjoyed many rights and privileges unknown in liberal democracies at the time, including major state investments in their education and training, training their full incorporation into the workforce, generous maternity leave allowances, and guaranteed free childcare. But there's one advantage that has received little attention. Women under communism enjoyed more sexual pleasure. A comparative sociological study of East and West Germans conducted after reunification in 1990 found that Eastern women had twice as many orgasms as Western women. This is politics. There's a reason that, like, and this is literally just like a fact. If you studied the girlfriends of, if anybody who watches Asmongold has a girlfriend, if you studied their girlfriends and compared them to the girlfriends of the people in my community and Hassan's community, it's a sociological fact that the women in our communities are having much more satisfying sex. It's not even a question. All right, like, men, conservatives don't know how to fuck. They can't fuck. It's just a fact. Alright, let's go back to green energy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to go on
resources to manufacturing solar panels.
Yeah, I just... I mean, it's already an 8% grade, and I don't want to go too much higher than that. I wish they made stairs.
Can't you do stairs or like a
No. Nope. Well, I mean, maybe I could do a switchback. That might be possible, where I could just go like boom, 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 boom. Let me see what we're looking at.
You go down and then back around and then under the yeah. So down this way and then yeah. No, not curved. You go straight.
Straight.
Yes, and then like a hard right angle.
Right now, and it's getting bigger.
Like that.
It has a bunch of sibling bases all coming online in the next few years. China's basically doubling the world's renewable generation over time.
Do you know how switchback works?
So what's not to like?
Yeah, but no, I don't think it's gonna work.
I think it'll work.
China's emissions levels have continued to rise, and they're
Just
still
go straight, but
building coal plants
you're gonna have to
supplement
raise the
internet
other
power
end.
of their renewable bases.
Like, get it close to the
After
building.
a post-COVID rebound in CO2 output during 2023,
No,
some
make us
estimates are
straight.
showing that China may have
Get rid of
straight.
get the curvy tool off of here.
2024 and beyond shows declining numbers.
Okay, no, it's straight.
Building and permitting more coal plants in 2023 and beyond.
Yeah, so go
feels
forward,
two
like
steps
close to the
forward
building.
and one step back. As we've seen in places like Germany,
China has actually started to decline the coal plants. They're starting to cancel them because.
Oh no, you could have done it in one piece, and instead you made it two pieces.
even methodical, well-planned attempts to entirely phase out coal by 2030 have been scrapped in light of unforeseen geopolitics and energy crises. China already accounts for half the world's coal consumption, so it's worrying to see their government constructing even more coal plants. As some analysts have warned, there's a fight brewing in China between renewable stakeholders and fossil fuels stakeholders. It's a familiar fight that we're seeing everywhere else around the world. It can only
difference is in China, the Greens are gonna win because.
Okay, it's not horrible. That's not horrible. We still like this. It adds character to the city. Why are you doing that? It's not that bad.
It's not even connected anymore.
We'll deal with that. We'll figure that part out.
Dude, get rid of the curvy tool. Only straight lines.
I like the curvy tool. Okay, see, look. Look at that. It's all fixed. Okay, but you know what needs to happen? This cannot be. What do you mean? What do we want a divot? This is fine.
Look at the divot between the lab.
Why are your citizens walking across the road when there's that overpass right there? What's the point of the
Where's the problem? There's no problem here.
What? The last little thing that you put down, the little band-aid patch that you did.
That? That's fine.
Look at the divot! That's an ankle breaker right there.
Oh, it's like a step. Think of that as like a step.
I'm just gonna slap one man. Go fix the other side with the switchback.
No, I like it like this. I don't like the switchback over here. I think it looks good with the switchback there, but I don't want one here. I think it'll look weird. We just have to get people. There has. I have to look.
Delete the crosswalk.
I don't know if I can. Oh, here, yeah. There we go. Okay. No crossing lanes here, guys. The fuck out of the road. They don't listen. They just still go anyway. These people are fucking sick.
Oh my god.
It makes them less likely to cross, but they still fucking do that shit. I don't care.
Okay, now you have a different problem.
What?
People can't get from the outside to the inside.
I mean, they can. They just have to cross all the way down there. And plus, there's no reason to be on the outside. There's nothing on the outside. If you're on the outside, you're ill. What?
Look at all the people there. That's where they park.
Well, they shouldn't be parking there. They're delinquents.
They need a pedestrian bridge or something.
They'll get one eventually.
God, there are more people on the outside than the inside.
It's because they're fucking walking from the fucking old town. I think they're literally walking this far.
Good to know, Jim.
Yes, they're all fucking here.
Pedestrian bridge to the other pedestrian bridge.
It's worth slowing down.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
No.
I'm trying to fix. I'm working.
So you're saying connected up to there?
Deprivation of Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
Yeah.
And more local news today. The tourism board just released.
That's gonna be tough. I mean, I could just expand this out, I guess.
Fell by over 20%.
No. You just have it like one of the pillars be in the water, and then you have a gentle slope up from the.
Maybe we'll
Time
keep an eye
political
on
commentator. And
I
worked
like
as a
the sound of that,
politician
Glenda.
And political staffer. I read sources that
Show John your railway spaghetti.
The answer is I don't trust.
Is he even watching? I mean, it's just work in progress, and it's not even that bad. It's a little janky over here and over here.
Take everything they say, Scott.
Everywhere.
There is no answer. You have to understand what sources are. What is
It's fine.
straight news?
The trains run.
The trains do run.
What is a primary source? What is a claim being made by an interested party?
This intersection is still fucking a problem.
Working, buying smart switches to electrocute myself, trying to install.
Sometimes, you apply different interpretive methodologies, or you apply your ideological lens, and there's no way, and you're gonna make errors. And sometimes people that are trustworthy make mistakes, and sometimes people that are liars tell the truth. So the answer to that is
It's because everybody's in the right lane. Nobody's going around.
Because everyone's going this way. Yeah, the problem is people just use this as the way to get into the city instead of driving over to this interchange and getting into the city here. I guess people are doing that too. There's significant infrastructure that has to be done here. I'm not in denial.
Alright, we need to go fix this one. What's going on in this one?
Which one?
The one you were just looking at.
This one's just backed up. Why are these cars not moving? Oh, because this guy's trying to make a U-turn.
Oh, Jared in his muscle car.
trust something just because the U.S.
Yeah.
I think this might need some pedestrian bridges.
I hate pedestrian bridges.
Why do you have 2 lane circles?
What do you mean?
Like 3-lane ones, or ones with shortcuts for the turns?
So you want the
zoom in. Why is that red car not going? Where's that red car going?
I don't know. Yeah, like why is this guy's not going?
area and it's trying to get in the left lane.
That's what I'm saying. These guys are freaking crazy, man.
Work and books that I've read decades ago. You know,
I don't know. I'm
Can you do the
confused.
thing? Was that a mod that you say like this lane has to go to this lane?
Yeah, that's a mod.
you know what I mean? Where
I mean, we shouldn't need it until we get to end game anyway.
Yo, show me the traffic overlay.
It's probably not even that bad. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty not good.
Oh no.
Okay, considering it's 60k people with almost no public transportation, it's fine. I could probably get it back to 80. I could get it back to 80%. 60% is very low, though. That's very, very low.
When Justin said we can get it back, I thought he was going to start executing some people.
Alright, but let's keep going. Let's keep going with this. This is very a lot of work Arun put together to watch this. So let's give it the love it deserves.
No longer be the same. And we can be more than sure that the same horrors will not repeat. That's what the Tamils experiencing Sri Lanka's crimes against humanity had hoped 15 years prior. But now, amidst the atrocities,
That means that I do need to add public transit, because I can't get much lower.
Surprise you, but every tactic being used in Gaza right now was used in Sri Lanka, studied by the world, and employed elsewhere. Sri Lanka gives us an idea of what might happen next in Palestine, as the atrocities and cultural erasure against the Tamil people in Sri Lanka continue to occur unabated. No lessons learned, no reconciliation. Atrocities against the Tamils continue unabashed, whether it be the seizing of land by the army, the attempts at culturally erasing Tamil heritage by claiming Hindu temples and Christian churches as Buddhist land, the ethnocratic Sri Lankan state forcibly disappearing Tamils in white vans never to be seen again, the systemic violence of the Sri Lankan state and the army inflict upon the Tamils and the Duos. Not so long ago, in the year 2000, when America was inaugurating and celebrating its first black president, Barack Obama, on the other side of the world, in Sri Lanka, the same war crimes you're now seeing in Gaza was taking place.
The UN Special Panel report published this April found that government heavy artillery was constantly retargeted on the so-called no-fly zones.
But in order to understand how we got to the bombings of hospitals and schools, and numerous other war crimes that took place,
6 o'clock and it's still light out.
first have to understand
The East.
that requires us to understand Sri Lanka has four major empires: the Sinhalese, the Elam Tamils, the Muslims, and the Hill or Malaga Tamils. The Sinhalese comprise the
Wait, when do we lose an hour of sleep?
75% of the population.
This weekend.
And they're concentrated in the southwest and central parts of the country. Their origins are what is now Eastern
Y'all are
India and
welcome.
Bangladesh. Religion-wise, the Sinhalese are overwhelmingly Theravada Buddhist, with a sizable Roman Catholic Christian minority.
Wait, what is
The Sinhala
permanent
language is an
spring
Indo-Aryan language, making it cousins of North Indian languages such as Hindi,
do you mean?
Bengali, and Punjabi, as well as distant cousins of European languages like English, Spanish. The Tamils are an ethnic group that are native to both southern India and northeastern Sri Lanka. The Elam Tamils are the Tamils native to the northern and eastern coast of Sri Lanka and have been there since antiquity. The Tamil language belongs
Oh my
to the
God.
Dravidian language.
What up?
It is the Dravidian language.
It turns out, you know, when you request Amazon delivers 100 packages to you, they do it.
With a significant minority being Christian.
I have to deal with that tonight.
The Malaga or Hill Tamils are the descendants of indentured servants of southern India. Brought by the
How are you even
British
gonna know if you got everything?
to the areas surrounding
That it's gonna take forever.
to work the tea plantation. Like the Elam Tamils, their spoken language
Just order one of everything.
dialect conversations.
John?
Yes, one of everything in the store, and it's two of some things.
Sri Lanka are an ethnic group that live
I
all over the
expect
world.
the
They are primarily
most
defined
impressive
by
Amazon box fort we've ever seen.
I'm gonna fill my 1,000 square. I'm gonna have 1,000 square feet worth of Amazon boxes. Oh my God, I gotta cut them. And that's something I forgot to buy. I did not buy a utility knife.
Predominantly Muslim population. This video will largely focus on the genocide that Elam Tamils and Malayaga Tamils.
Can you imagine if you did buy a utility knife and you wanted to find your utility knife to open
No, so I have a thing to open the boxes. I have a. You don't want to use a utility knife for like plastic. I have a box opener tool on my keychain, but yeah, cutting them up afterward, that's gonna be a struggle.
Mobs in Sri Lanka burned 13 people alive, part of a week-long massacre that turbocharged simmering ethnic unrest.
Well, what's your recycling situation look like?
Trash chute. So I gotta cut them up fairly small.
Is there a way for you to walk out back and toss them in the dumpster?
I don't know. It's very possible.
It might be easier just to cut everything and fold it flat and then just carry the flattened stack instead of cutting it into tiny itty pieces, considering you're in the dozens of box category.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. And you know what's even more fun? I have a dolly, foldable dolly I ordered, but I don't know what box it's in.
The original indigenous people of Sri Lanka are the Vedas. According to the Mahavamsa, the Veda are the offspring of the progenitor of the Sinhalese prince Vijaya.
How often do you think Amazon gets apartment-sized
Soon
orders?
after having children, however, Prince Vijaya banishes Kuveni and their children into the forest, thereby creating the indigenous Veda.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this isn't the worst they've ever had to deal with.
The entire island of Sri Lanka, painting the Tamils as invaders to the island. Despite the Tamils
Now, just like if you think about all the people who move in and out of cities, like all the time, like it's got to be all the time in Philly, right? And like, how many of those people are?
But unless it's your first apartment, most of the time people aren't doing like a start from zero-ish thing.
Starts lamenting the thousands of Tamils that he killed, the 8 Arhats,
That's just John.
enlightened disciples of the Buddha, console him by telling him that he only killed Tamil unbelievers, who are no better than beasts. He then go on to say, "Thou wilt bring glory to the doctrine of the Buddha in manifold ways. Therefore cast away care from thy heart, O ruler of men." Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism states that the island of Sri Lanka is the Buddha's promised land for his chosen people, the Sinhalese. The People's Tribunal of Sri Lanka mentions that major political figures throughout Sri Lanka likened themselves to previous Sinhalese.
I love how everybody tries to make their support links as hard to find as possible, so you won't
in order to rouse
call them.
anti-Tamil sentiments. One of the biggest proponents of Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism is Nagarika Dharmapala, whom I'd like to introduce with something he said about Sri Lanka Muslims.
What? I'm here.
An alien people by Shylockian method became prosperous.
I think they were both attached to the
Sinhalese sons of soils, whose ancestors
northbound or whichever way you're facing.
They are. But I want them to be even like coming in.
South Indian Muhammad comes to Ceylon, sees the neglected villager without any experience in trade. The result is that the Mohammedan thrives and the son of the soil.
No, it's going the wrong way.
Nagarika Dharmapala was the world's first modern.
Oh, now it's fixed.
Missionary. He was one of the principal figures responsible for bringing Buddhism to the West. Back in Sri Lanka, however, he's the godfather
I've seen
of
worse.
Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism.
Oh, we lost John.
This bright, beautiful island was made into paradise by the Aryan Sinhalese before its destruction was brought about by the
How come these people are constantly talking about Aryans? Yo, bro, like that's just made up.
Crosswalks.
They're not real. Just stop it.
It's not a crosswalk per se. It's saying that these lanes are dead. That these lanes go away. That's all that it's saying.
Christianity and polytheism are responsible for the vulgar practices of killing animals.
Oh, here. Okay, yeah, good idea.
Licentiousness.
We don't want to give people ideas that it's okay to walk in this city.
Invented lying. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Or you can add a pedestrian bridge.
No, we're good. Thank you, though.
Its people did not know.
My people do not need any more pedestrian bridges.
Are responsible for the vulgar practices of killing animals.
Why are there even sidewalks over here?
Licentiousness, lying.
I don't know that I can actually go. So, well, this is gonna be built up. There's gonna be a city here.
introduced
Oh, well then there should be
I'll remember.
a pedestrian
Stay
bridge or
tuned,
something.
folks. We'll be
One
back.
thing
Yeah, we'll get there. We're a long way away.
Just making a claim.
Dude,
Vicious
I
figures,
walked
presumably
over
Hinduism
a
or
pedestrian
Shaivism,
bridge in Richmond that was slung underneath a car bridge.
an obviously false claim that is meant to
Okay, well, that's gonna be what this might be like.
and invaders to the island. We could simply wrap up this section of the documentary.
Road
but
maintenance
if we can find
crews
it.
have already been
However,
dispatched,
there's
and
a
traffic
bit
flow
more to the
should
story.
return to normal.
The truth is
But if you're
that
planning
the
a quick
sinkhole
trip out,
Justin is
you
no
might
longer
want to
with
break
us.
the file until everything
actually
clears
I
up.
have bothered
2,000
him
years
with my
old,
suggestions
but
of
200 years ago, it was wholesale
Pedestrian bridges. We need less pedestrian bridges in the city, not more. We need less pedestrians. We need public transit users.
stop making roundabouts everywhere.
That's the problem with the roundabouts, yeah.
This is actually something that happens quite a lot, which is
Okay, well, look, it cleared up.
What did?
It's all fixed. The pedestrian bridge worked.
Yeah, look at how many people are using it.
Yeah, that was a
Look
good
how
call.
much more compact it would be if you would have done a switchback on the other side.
Yeah, but I like that it's sweeping. And there's gonna be a little park here now, too. Where's the little park here?
and they would differentially reward those that were
Hey, don't fall here. If you fall off the side here, you're going to just die. We're here. This is the ankle breaker.
Oh my god. Let's see. Good use of pedestrian bridge, Justin.
Yeah, that was a good call. Good call. Thank you, Seth. And look, it looks pretty. Look how pretty it looks.
Imagine if there was another one that went to the outside ring.
There will be eventually. No, they'll be lucky. They'll be happy they get one.
Maybe surrounding the circle needs to be a square pedestrian walkway in
This
the
is
air.
an emergency broadcast to all citizens. Storm spotters have reported a tornado currently heading toward
Dude, can you curve them? It should curve around the outside. Either above
You
the
can't.
sidewalk
The
or
problem is you can't curve this part. You can't curve the actual bridge part.
That's rigged. Oh wait,
Yeah.
you don't need to. Once the walkway part is in the air, you can curve the walkway part, right?
Yeah, I mean like this, I guess. You know.
Yeah, but just have it be level, right? And in the air, and
Maybe we'll see.
Entire country in the way that we understand it now. Their rudder was actually the kingdom that they lived in. So that mentality has to be basically dismantled in order to make it, a natural kind of entity that people have a connection. So similarly, this nationalism was actually constructed with the British states. So within the next 100 years from now, from the 19th century, that was basically started with the discovering of
doing a double shift because Hassan is banned, of course. You think the leftist propaganda is gonna end just because Hassan is banned? No, it's gonna be even more left wing. It's gonna be even more left wing.
archaeology and in the field of anthropology, physical anthropology. Basically, British constructed an identity, not simply about the identity of the native people.
He said if Mike Johnson really cared about Medicare fraud, then he would kill Rick Scott. And a lot of right-wingers pretended that he wasn't calling for violence against Rick Scott, which he wasn't doing.
let me know if this
He was
bothers
making
you.
idiomatic comment about the hypocrisy of
That's horrible. Why does that exist?
They all pretended to be offended. And these stupid Twitch
People
fucking
ride their bikes
admin,
across
'cause
it.
they're dumb as fuck.
Why isn't it flat?
And rewarded the brigaders
curved.
by,
It's a
giving
suspension
Hassan a
bridge.
temporary ban. Dumb as fuck.
Oh,
That is disgusting.
Dismantling every institution
this.
of our
Does this bother
society.
you?
They're banning the one left-wing content creator for
I will say it was not my
purposes.
favorite thing. I don't know why it's.
Did it shake while you were on it?
Probably a little bit.
Oh
I
god.
don't know how long he's banned for.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's unique though.
Look, I will say I don't. Heights I'm okay with for the most part. I'm not like.
This is what I'm talking
fan.
about. This is the city planning that I'm competing with. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the bridges and the railroads in my city. Okay, this is what we're up against.
Everybody pretended like.
belongs to
Look how efficient it is, though. The bridge was already there. You're just
Is
kinda
it efficient?
strapping
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, you can make a flat suspension bridge. It doesn't have to be curved like that.
No, it has to be curved.
Not that much.
But actually, he was basically is a kind of an indicator of how successful the British project was. Actually. Because in his writings, when you go through his writings,
I'm gonna go show this to Mom. I forgot.
Before reading I never knew about the glorious past of the Sinhalese.
However, the irony of Anagarika's tirade against the British is that the very text that he was inspired by, the Mahavamsa, was relatively unknown to the Sinhalese people for centuries because it was written in dead language that few people spoke. As British colonial linguists first discovered the Mahavamsa, then translated it into English, then into Sinhala. The translation of the Mahavamsa, along with the archaeological discoveries of a, quote, ancient Aryan civilization on the island, had laid the groundwork for the resurgence of Sinhalese Buddhist nationalism.
Mahavansa was, basically digged out from a place.
What is it with the word Aryan and just making people go insane? I do not understand. Like, what the fuck is with people and the word Aryan and just going batshit?
Which was written in Pali. It was digged out by a British colonialist who was working under the British administration, and he did it accidentally because he was involved in some other kind of, trying to sort out disputes between two temples, and where he accidentally found this book, which he claims that until I found this book, nobody seemed to have noticed this book, the importance of it, which connects India's history to Sri Lanka's history, or Ceylon's history. So the thing is, when they dig out Mahavansa, and when they started looking at it, they found, for the colonial rulers, they found it's quite important as part of, to justify or to naturalize the newly constructed this Sinhala Buddhist identity.
This idea of Sinhalese being Aryans, and thus the rightful owners of the land, was further reinforced by the Nazis, and Heinrich Himmler appointed a 5-person team to find the origins of the Aryan race. They originally sent the 5-person team to Colombo in Sri Lanka in order to study the Aryan people living in Sri Lanka, namely the Sinhalese. Using the
Nazi archaeology to find the Aryan people's source.
Mahavamsa, Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists lay claim to all of Sri Lanka, similar to how Zionists used the expulsion of Jewish people from Judea and Samaria to lay claim to the area of all of modern-day Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists within the Sri Lankan government since independence in 1948 have specifically engaged in state-sponsored settler colonialism. These schemes are specifically designed to displace the Tamil population and slowly shift the demographics such that the Northeast will become majority Sinhalese, and the Tamil-speaking populations will become minorities in their own native land. Sinhalese settlers were provided with preferential privileged access to land, which was routinely denied to the Tamil-speaking population of the area. But remember that one day the whole country will look up to you. The final battle for the Sinhala, our people, will be fought on the plains of Padavia, who are men and women who will carry this island's destiny on your shoulders. Those who are attempting to divide this country will have to reckon with you. The country may forget you for a few years, but one day, very soon, they will look up to you as the last bastion of the Sinhala. The Sri Lankan rate of population growth is one of the highest in Asia in the 19th century. The population boom created a Sinhalese landlord class, which in turn also created a Sinhalese landless peasant class. This was also at a time when there was scarcity of land in the Sinhalese-dominated south. This drive to colonize the northeast portions of the island, which was where all the dry lands were, was a way for the land-owning Sinhalese bourgeois, predominantly coming from the Govigama caste, and the British colonial government to appeal to the landless Sinhalese peasants hailing from the highlands of Kandy. The primary form of Sinhalese settler colonization was, and continues to be carried out, through government-sponsored irrigation projects. The Sri Lankan state used these irrigation schemes as an excuse to settle the landless Sinhalese peasants on town and land. This Sinhalese landlord class that many refer to is actually the Sinhalese Govigama caste. The first colonization scheme was enacted in the 1940s, right around the time of independence, under D.S. Sena Naika. The scheme targeted the Galoya Valley in the island's southeast, where the largest ethnic group were the Muslims, and the second largest ethnic group were the island's Tamils. The Galoya project was the first large-scale project on the island where a dam in the southeastern region, in what was then the Badikalo district in the northeast, was to be constructed. The government would intentionally misrepresent areas of the Badikalo district as uninhabited as an excuse to settle Sinhala peasant workers. At least tens of thousands.
Literally what they say about Gaza, you know, and Gaza and Palestine. Oh, it's a land without a people for a people without a land.
The Sinhalese workers were settled in the east between 1948 and 1957, and many of those Sinhalese peasants.
This is really important history, and I feel like my knowledge of India is like, I would say that the Indian subcontinent is probably where my history is weakest. I've made a point to study, you know, African history, South Latin American history, Chinese history, you know, Russian and European history, Middle East. But the Indian subcontinent is probably where I know a bit, like way more than any American, but not on this level of granularity. I'm honestly watching this Nazi shit, like the Nazi trips to India, which is very crazy. And I studied a little bit. I took an Indo-European folk tales course in college, but other than that, I'm very weak in this part of the world.
Workers were armed by the government with the intention of chasing out the local Tamils that lived in the district. During the process of this colonization, an area in the southern province of the Badikalo district that was wholly undeveloped during the British colonial era would be fully transformed into a bustling town to house the people that were working on the Galoya Dam. This town was named Ampara.
The Israeli government's decision to block food, medicine, and other aid from entering Gaza is collective punishment. That's horrific and unacceptable. Both Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire in January. The deal has saved lives. Both parties should abide by it and ensure the agreement moves forward as intended. What a fucking king. What a fucking king. I wanted to give subs today because Mike knocked it out of the park and I can't gift right now. Well, thank you everybody for supporting the stream. Quirky Pop Pie, thank you all, everybody who subbed and resubbed and gifted subs. You guys are the best. 716 subs today? Holy shit! That's crazy.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive, and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local public
Ghosted
service
RS,
announcement.
thank you so much. Okay, let's get back to the video. I want to finish this because I
You're
promised to
listening
watch
to
this video,
Deluxe
and I also really do want
Relax
to watch
with
it.
Alice Brash.
And me, Sarah.
Over time,
Did you see
what
the
happened as
traffic
a
on the
result
way
of this
in?
project
I
was
love
that due to the
traffic.
huge population increase in Sinhalese
This is an
settlers,
emergency
the
broadcast.
Sinhalese
to all
actually ended up
citizens.
becoming the
A heavy
largest
storm is
minority in the
approaching the
southern
city,
half of Badikalo
and the likelihood
district,
of hail is very
outright
high.
displacing the
Traffic
Tamils
slowdowns
and
and
making the
damage to
Tamils the
crops
third
and
largest
property
group.
are expected.
In 1961,
Citizens are advised to
nearly
remain
15
indoors
years
until
after
the situation
independence,
passes.
the Sri Lankan government carved a new district out of Badikalo.
No,
This
no.
new
It's more
district
like
was
a
given the name
hovercraft.
Ampara,
Well,
with the capital
like
of
a
the district being
motorcycle.
Ampara, the town that was built to house the Galoya Dam construction workers. According to the 2012 census, the largest group in Ampara district continues to be Muslim, while the capital of Ampara district, Ampara town, is 99% Sinhalese. In 1948, the same year he started the Galoya project, and the same year Sri Lanka got independence, B.S. Senanayake started a series of irrigation projects in the southern part of the eastern province's Trincomalee district.
This just in from traffic.
Trincomalee
If
district
you're
was
thinking
historically a
about hitting the
majority
streets,
town
you
while
can
having a
expect
sizable
delays
Muslim
on the
population.
major roads,
It was
especially
also
during
home
rush
to a
hour.
notable indigenous coastal Veda population.
Seems like
The first of these irrigation projects was the Kundalai colonization scheme, which involved a tank to irrigate the paddy fields. 40,000.
What's really interesting how they
Oh,
use irrigation
I'd
to
rather wait an hour in
advance
traffic than
colonial
have to
ends.
start thinking about it.
Instead of like saying, oh,
Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
if the productive forces
Industry in the region is on the rise, and when business is doing well, that
There are now
floats our
86,000
boat.
There's no
Sinhalese
sinking
in
this
the
bungle,
Kundalai,
Linda.
which is about half the Sinhalese population, were a direct result of the Kundalai colonization project. In 1951, the Alai irrigation scheme was enacted. The scheme involved the construction of an anacut through the Vargal River. Along with this irrigation scheme came the swallowing of ancient Tamil towns as Sinhalese settlers were relocated here. Kallar was named Somapura, Neelapalai was named Neelapola, part of Punagar was named Mahindapura, Tirumangalai was renamed Sri Mangalagama, and Aripur became Seranawara, the location of the new Sarawilla Divisional Secretariat that would be cleaved from the Tamil and Muslim majority Vellore division. In Neelapalai's case, the government specifically settled, quote, rough elements from nearby Polonnaruwa in the north-central province. During the Black July pogroms in 1983, the remaining Tamils in Neelapalai and other towns would be chased out by the Sinhalese settlers. Most of these colonies allocated under the Alai irrigation scheme now fall under the Sarawilla Divisional Secretariat, which according to the 2012 census is 69% Sinhalese. A result of both the Galoya irrigation scheme and the later Mahawali development program started in the 60s was that much of the indigenous Veda population that was living in the eastern province were forcibly evicted by both Sinhalese settlers and the government and relocated onto reservations. The remaining Veda people in the eastern province were then assimilated into the Tamil ethnic group later on. To this day, there are only a total of 10,000 Veda on the entire island, relegated to these reservations as tourist attractions as they fight to retain their identity against the pressure of assimilation into the Sinhalese. Another result of these irrigation schemes,
indigenous population they're
This is an
deleting.
emergency broadcast
Sinhalese
to all
settlers
citizens.
antagonizing
A
and
heavy
chasing
storm
out
is
the Tamil
approaching the city,
population,
and the
was
likelihood
that
of
the
hail
Tamils
is very
were
high.
once the majority of
Traffic
Trincomalee district
slowdowns
in
and damage to
1921,
crops and
are now
property
the
are
second
expected.
largest group, the largest
Citizens
minority,
are advised to
following
remain
Muslims.
indoors
In
until the situation
1956,
passes.
Sinhalese nationalist Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranaike and his Sri Lanka Freedom Party passed the Official Language Act, commonly known as the Sinhala Only Act. This law replaced English with Sinhala as the official language, but specifically excluded Tamil. The
See, they probably phrased it as an anti-colonial project. You know what I mean? Like, they made it an anti-colonial project, but in reality, it was a colonial project, just in a different name.
their major language spoken on the island. To underline how drastically different Tamil and Sinhala are as languages, Tamil is as close to Sinhala as Japanese is to English. They are totally different languages from totally different language families. The passage of the Sinhala Only Act effectively prevented 30% of the population whose native language is Tamil from getting and keeping government jobs, which are one of the main viable sources of income. This also meant that government social safety nets were made unavailable to the Tamil speakers of the island. This led to multiple protests from Tamil political parties, which were promptly met with government-sanctioned violence, leading to the deaths of at least 150 Tamils. Much of this violence happened in the Gulf colony.
It's funny because I don't know enough about this history. I know a little bit about the Tamils because they are so notorious. It's like I could predict the tactics and the techniques without even knowing, because it's the same shit. They always do.
Where Sinhalese settlers massacred roughly 100 Tamils. One of the fallouts of the Sinhala Only Act was that Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists were emboldened to enforce the Sinhala language upon the Tamil speakers, namely the Elam Tamils, the Malayaga Tamils, and Muslims. To this end, Sinhalese nationalists started printing the word Shri in the Sinhala script on license plates. symbolizing the desire to Sinhalese the name of what was then called Ceylon into Sri Lanka. In response, the anti-Shri campaign began on the Tamil side, smearing the word Shri on license plates or cars. This was another act of mobilization of the Tamil side, which would be met with violence. On May 24, 1958, violence broke out in Kolanarwa district of the Eastern Province. The Tamils, as well as any Sinhala person who attempted to protect the Tamils, were attacked, raped, and murdered en masse by a Sinhalese mob. In fact, Sinhalese who were suspected of hiding Tamils had, quote, their brains strewn about. The next day, a Sinhalese mob attacked a sugar cane plantation full of Tamil workers and their families. When the mob attacked, the workers and their families tried to hide in the bushes. The mob set the entire field on fire. As the Tamils were forced out of the burning sugarcane field, the mob murdered the men, women, and children using homemade swords and grass-cutting knives and machetes. In a nearby town, mobs ripped open the belly of an 8-month pregnant woman and let her bleed to death. Necklacing is a form of extrajudicial summary execution and torture, wherein a rubber tire is drenched with gasoline, forced onto the victim's chest and arms, and is lit on fire, thereby burning the victim alive. This tactic, which has been used all around the world, was first attested in the 1958 anti-Tamil pogroms used by Sinhalese nationalist mobs against Tamil civilians. In the wake of the Sinhala Only Act and resulting mobilization of Tamil political activists, state-backed Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists became more and more emboldened to engage in terrorism and ethnic pogroms against the Elam Tamils living in the north.
Doing terrorism for Buddha is crazy, dude. It's so batshit, but then you realize people do it for Christianity too. And it's like, oh yeah, why am I surprised? It doesn't actually mean, it's not even related to the religion at all or the belief system. It's just like, it's an identifier. It's the same thing with Christianity. Christ would say stuff like, love your neighbor as thyself, and have no thought for the morrow. Give everything you have to the poor. That's what Jesus Christ would say. And then you have that Christianity today is, if you can go ahead and get your credit card out and send to me every dollar you can, and everything the Royal Exchequer will send it to you tenfold. I need that private jet to spread the word of Jesus. So why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? Thank you guys, gals, and non-binary pals for all the support. You guys are amazing.
Northeast, Malaga Tamils living in the highlands, and the Tamils living in Colombo. In 1970, the wife of former Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranaike, Sirima Bandaranaike, became the world's first woman Prime Minister.
You are the first woman Prime Minister in the world.
She soon followed in her husband's footsteps by enacting a number of measures designed to legally make Tamils second-class citizens, such as forcing Tamil civil servants to learn the Sinhala language.
It's like, yes, fascism, yes, queen.
In order to be promoted.
It's like the AFD leader is a lesbian living with I think she's living with an Indian woman, isn't she? It's like the lesbian Hitler.
Requiring Tamils to negotiate in the Sinhalese language with Sinhalese.
You could trace almost every evil on the planet today back to the British. Oh yeah. Oh, is she from Sri Lanka? Oh my God, of course she is.
Civil servants stationed in Tamil-dominated areas, making the court Sinhala only, including in the Tamil-speaker-dominated Northeast. Banning the import of publications promoting Tamil culture.
Wait, did like the AFD leader, was she in Sri Lanka researching Aryan race or something, and then she met her partner? Like, what is going on here? Like, what is going on? Did the first female prime minister ever adequately use girl power by enforcing a language upon an indigenous population? Yeah, exactly. She really did girl power.
From the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu in India, and continuing the government-backed Sinhalese ethnic settlements in the Tamil and Muslim-dominated Northeast that her predecessors had been engaging in since the 1950s.
AFD's leader's wife is either Sinhala or Burger, aka mixed Sinhala European. Oh boy.
One of the long-lasting projects spearheaded by the world's first woman prime minister was the Mahaweli Development Program, which designated certain areas of the island as prime targets for development, some of which were in the Tamil-dominated northeast. The official state-provided reason behind the project was that the Sri Lankan government wanted to develop the land, and in particular, the irrigation mechanisms of the dry zones of the island, where the dry zones comprise the Tamil and Muslim-dominated eastern and northern provinces. This is one of the main legal mechanisms that the government would use to settle Sinhalese, including the predominantly Sinhalese army and police on Tamil and Muslim land. Sirima also oversaw the full independence of Sri Lanka from the British, as well as the renaming of the island from Ceylon to Sri Lanka, and a new constitution that her government drafted. With the constitution came Article 6, with a notable provision. The Republic of Sri Lanka shall give to Buddhism the foremost place, and
Wow,
accordingly,
this sounds exactly like Israel.
it shall be the duty of the state to protect and foster Buddhism while assuring to all religions the rights granted by Section 18. The Sri Lankan constitution makes it abundantly clear that Buddhism is the foremost religion on the island. In 1976, the Tamil United Liberation Front, aka TULF, led by SJV Chelvanayagam, signed the Vattukotte Resolution, calling for the creation of an independent country named Tamil Eelam, comprising the Tamil-speaking Northeast. This resolution was signed after decades of apartheid-like policies enacted by Sinhalese nationalist politicians. Sirima's party, former Prime Minister SWRD's Sri Lanka Freedom Party, would be blown out in the 1977 Sri Lankan parliamentary elections. The election would see the restoration of power to D.S. Senanayaka's neoliberal MP under a new leader, J.R. Jayawardena, a distant cousin of the
Well, they're neoliberal, so obviously Sri Lanka became one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Nayaga family. The UNP government initiated a process of economic liberalization, making the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka the first country in South Asia to liberalize its economy. The UNP, as part of this economic liberalization plan, unveiled an ambitious development plan to irrigate and further colonize the Northeast, an acceleration to his predecessor's Mahaweli program. The minister put in charge of the Mahaweli project a man named Dominique Dissanayake. In order to implement this irrigation plan and colonization scheme, the Jayawardena administration worked with foreign consultants such as the United States Agency for International Development, USA, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. USAID was so intimately involved in the project that they made recommendations to the Sri Lankan government such as, quote, publishing 14 crop production and marketing profiles per field-based manuals in both English and Sinhala. When looking through this document, we searched for the term Tamil to see whether or not any resources were given out in the Tamil language as they were in Sinhala and English, but there were no references to Tamils in this document. However, in another USAID document, they mentioned the Sinhalese Tamil question. No further explanation regarding the—
Hey guys, they need to find a final solution to the Sinhalese Tamil question. And there you find the CIA.
meaning of the Sinhalese Tamil question is provided in the document. This means that the United States was acutely aware of the problems being faced by the Tamils, yet
Saudi
proceeded
Arabia also gave $25 million to this.
to help the Sinhalese National Sri Lankan government with its
Military, thanks for the
colonization
5-year
scheme. In those days, Sri Lanka was really the darling of the development assistance community because it seemed like it was doing everything right. It had, in its earlier years, emphasized the social dimensions, the so-called, quote, physical quality
You're
of life
listening to
dimension,
Deluxe Relax
partially
with
because
Alice
of the British
Brash.
policy
I'm
which
her co-host,
emphasized education,
Sarah.
health, and infrastructure. Literacy and longevity were quite high, and infant mortality was quite low relative to per capita income in Sri Lanka.
We're live,
under Prime Minister
and we're gonna
Bandaranaike
report
during
some
the
traffic
early
accidents,
70s, Sri Lanka had followed
somewhere,
disastrous economic
in the
policies.
city.
In
Road
1978,
maintenance services have already
Because-
been
headed
and
by
traffic
J.R.
flow should
Jayawardena,
return to
there was
normal.
a move back
But if
to
you're
free
planning a
market
quick trip
policies
out,
and
you
opening
might
towards the
want to
West.
wait a
Is
little
that
while
the
until
roof?
Sri
everything
Lanka
clears
looked like
up.
a marvelous
That's not me.
a real
Tululu Falulu?
No use
Tululu
in
country that was
Touchdown?
intimately
mean-
involved in the development of the
delays
Mahawali
and
project
drive
was
safe.
Israel.
Isn't that like your
And
bedtime?
listen to our
For 8 minutes?
feature
Sirima
story.
Bandaranaike
What time is
The
it?
commercial
significantly
district
more
is
hostile
booming
to Israel,
as the area
and
is
had generally taken
attracting
the side
more
of the surrounding
high-end
Arab
stores,
countries,
bringing
as
the
with
latest in
Jayawardena
luxury
success
to our
harnessing the
neighbors.
brainwaves.
That's only 7, man. I would never go to bed before 7.
Sipping a fancy
Went to bed at
local
6:48 yesterday.
Military aid
It was 7:48, I'm pretty sure.
6:48.
regarding the
and
development of the
good for the
Mahawali
community.
project ended up
Thanks,
being
Chief.
taken on by Israeli
We'll be
construction
back
and
after
civil engineering firm
So
Solar
exotic,
the very same company that prefabricated.
I'm not sure that that's 100% true, but we'll
So
see.
it
during
is.
the 1936 to 1939 era
Yikes.
revolts. The
Big
very
L.
settlements that
Seth
would lay
even
the
posted.
foundation for the state of Israel. Israeli
We have it on
architects
stream.
will
Seth
plant
posted
6
it.
new towns for the Mahawali
You
settlement.
can't hide.
It was also reported that the idea for accelerating the Mahawali development plan was given to Gamani Disanaika and the Jerwadinite government by a Mossad agent, Amy Yar. The Mahawali plan identified 13 systems in the dry zone to be developed, named B, C, H, G, L, etc. And the settlers that were chosen for these areas were again almost entirely Sinhalese. 2 of those systems are in the northeast, System B in the remainder of the eastern province's Banikalo district after Ampara was carved out, and System L in the northern province's Mulaythiva district. Buddhist meditation centers were built in these colonies, and books were distributed in these areas in order to, quote, promote spirituality. The Mahawali project and program makes it abundantly clear who the settlers mainly are.
Yeah.
The Mahawali authorities will not only lead the settlers towards material prosperity, but also provide them with spiritual guidance to make them morally upright. On full moon days, every family has been advised to go to the Buddhist temple, offer flowers, perform other rites, listen to sermons, and observe Buddhist precepts. Their engagement in rituals, ceremonies, and reciting of Pali stanzas is only the first step in their spiritual ascent, as this only attunes the minds for higher and more important religious exercises.
In 1979, the Mahawali Authority Act No. 23 was passed, declaring the land designated for the Mahawali Development Program to be property of the state, including land in the B&L systems. This meant that land that belonged to the Tamils and Muslims was now property of the Sinhalese Buddhist nationalist state. Once the war starts, we begin to see more and more state seizure of Tamil land. Around the same time, a young Tamil student by the name of
This makes perfect sense, right? Like, you take the property of the minority and then you use forward investment to leverage that destruction, that expropriation. And then now America and Israel have a vested interest in making sure your colonial project works, because they'll make money on it. The Tamils were in deep shit once this happened, because the more that they basically put the world superpower on their side of their genocide. This is the same thing that the Israelis have done.
Billy Prabhakar started getting involved in politics. In 1972, he, along with a few of his associates, would found a militant organization named the Tamil Tigers. Just a couple of days after New Year's 1974, the 4th World Tamil Research Conference was held in the northern city of Jaffna, despite Prime Minister Sirima Bandaranaike
Tigers were
commanding
basically considered the world's leading resistance group for a long time. The most effective.
this conference be held in the capital, Colombo, instead. On January 10th, Assistant Superintendent of Police Chandrasekhar led a truck of 40 anti-riot police officers into the conference and started attacking the crowd. The police shot at the overhead electrical wires, of which the now exposed live ends fell down to the level of the crowd and electrocuted people. 7 of the 11 people that died that day were electrocuted. In 1975, Bakran and his associates, as part of the Tamil New Tigers, assassinated the mayor of Jaffna, Alfred Durayappa. The Tamil mayor of Jaffna, who had joined Sirima's SLFP in order to try and get government funds directed towards Jaffna through official means. However, the Tamil militant groups at the time had a different perspective. Alfred Durayappa was part of the ruling party that had sent police into a conference about research on the Tamil language and killed roughly 11 innocent people. Because of what they regarded as complicity in an attack on Tamils, the Tamil militant groups, including the Tamil New Tigers, had branded Alfred as a traitor. The following year, in a secret location, Prabhakaran, Uma Maheswaran, and several dozen others gathered and proceeded to officially rename the Tamil New Tigers. The new name, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, infamously known as the LTTE or Tamil Tigers. In 1980, the People's Liberation Organization of Tamil Eelam, PLO, was formed as a splinter group from the LTTE by Uma Maheswaran, who was trained in Lebanon and Syria by the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, or PFLP. The following year, members of TOLF, the party that signed the Vatukote resolution calling for an independent Tamil Eelam, held a rally where 2 police officers were shot by members of PLO. That very very same night, police and fascist paramilitaries destroyed Tulf's office, the Jaffna Member of Parliament's residence, many business establishments, and a local Tamil Hindu temple. They pulled 4 people from their homes at random and killed them. The following night, the cops and fascist paramilitaries set the Jaffna Public Library ablaze.
Then, Jaffna's most loved building was set alight.
I was able to see the library going on flames. So my feeling was that we are losing a treasure.
Can you imagine burning down a library, dude? That's how you know it's fascist as fuck.
And I was threatened that if I refuse to abide by the orders, I may be harmed. I may not even be shot, he said. And seeing those collections in flames and realizing that the whole thing cannot be retrieved, it was terrible trauma in my mind when I was standing and looking at this. It was really a cultural genocide. The burning was a cultural genocide.
Over 97,000 volumes of books, along with numerous culturally important and irreplaceable manuscripts, were destroyed. To understand the magnitude of cultural genocide at play here, let's take a step back to understand Tamil culture. The beating heart of Tamil culture is the language, and as a result, the literature plays a big role in Tamil culture. Tamil is one of the few remaining written classical languages in the world, whose history extends about a couple thousand years into the past. There are words in the Torah that you recite in your synagogue that are loaned words from Tamil. There are words that the pharaohs Ptolemy and Cleopatra themselves used that were gifts from the trade with the Tamil Pandyan dynasty. Imagine if some of the lost works of Plato were available in exactly one library, only for ethno-nationalists to burn them to a crisp. One of the men responsible for orchestrating the torching of the Jaffna Public Library was none other than the Minister of Mahawali Development, Gamini Dissanayake.
And by the way, that is an attack on all of humanity. This is an attack on all of humanity to destroy our joint legacy.
The man responsible for spearheading Sinhala settler colonies in the Tamil-dominated Northeast. This craven act of cultural genocide, where irreplaceable cultural artifacts that date hundreds if not thousands of years back were intentionally destroyed, was the point of no return for the Tamil nationalist militant groups. This set the stage for Black July. On July 23, 1983, the Tamil Tigers ambushed the Sri Lankan army in Tirunelveli near Jaffna, killing a total of 15 members of the Sri Lankan military. The following night, in response, a band of Sri Lankan soldiers left Palali, and on the way to the town of the ambush, they destroyed all the Tamil-owned shops. They also massacred over 60 Tamil civilians in Jaffna, an event that was never broadcast or mentioned on Sinhala language television. In the southern Sri Lankan capital of Colombo, the anti-Tamil pogroms had begun. Over the next few days, high-ranking Sri Lankan government officials will provide Sinhalese nationalist mobs with photo rolls containing the locations of all Tamils living in Colombo, as well as Tamil shops. Sinhalese Buddhist nationalists using these voter rolls would then proceed to burn Tamil homes and shops to the ground. Tamils all across the country would be attacked by Sinhala Buddhist nationalist mobs. Whether one was an Elam Tamil whose origins lie in the northeast, otherwise known as Elam, whether one was a Malayaga Tamil whose ancestors were forcibly brought to Sri Lanka to work tea plantations, or a Tamil born and raised in Colombo, none was safe. To give you an idea of what happened throughout the island, here are a couple of instances of violence against Tamils that happened across Sri Lanka. On July 25th, in the afternoon, a Tamil survivor witnessed...
guys, for his joke about... for his comment where he was like, Mike Johnson doesn't care about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, because if he did, he would kill the biggest Medicaid fraudster of all time, but he works with him. And A bunch of right-wingers pretended like that he was calling for his death, which was not what he was doing. But it doesn't matter. They like to pretend, and that's what it takes to get him banned, you know? They have to pretend to be stupid.
Just a single mob gang raping and killing 2 Tamil sisters, aged 18 and 11. The older sister went on her knees and begged the mob not to harm her 11-year-old sister, who was then hacked to death and then decapitated in front of the 18-year-old while the mob laughed with derision. The 18-year-old was then gang raped by about 20 Sinhala men before being burned alive. The witness also reported seeing several naked Tamil rape victims in a Colombo refugee camp who had been stripped of their clothes on the streets and were being ogled at by Sri Lankan soldiers. A young store worker was forced to watch the gang rape of his mother by a mob of Sinhalese ethno-nationalists who hit him and his mother every time he tried to close his eyes. His mother was then killed and he was told, quote, "This is what Tamil whores deserve." He then later joined the Tamil Tigers and became a local leader in the organization. Here are a couple of eyewitness accounts of the apocalypse all across the island.
While traveling on a bus when a mob laid siege to it, passengers watched as a small boy was hacked to a meaningless death. The bus driver was ordered to give up a Tamil. He pointed out a woman who was desperately trying to erase the mark on her forehead called a kumkum as thugs boarded her. The woman's belly was ripped open with a broken bottle and she was immolated as people clapped and danced. While all this was going on, a line of Buddhist monks appeared, arms flailing, their voices raised in a delirium of exhortation, summoning the Sinhalese to put all Tamils to death.
A few minutes after arriving in Sri Lanka last month, I was sitting on the pavement outside the airport, watching the birds and the dragonflies. A Sinhalese youth sat down beside me, apparently keen to talk about the recent violence against the country's Tamils. "Tamils all gone from Colombo now," he said with a broad grin. "Tamil shops all burned. Perhaps all Tamil people will go to India now." His tone was gleefully triumphant. "Sri Lanka is for Sinhalese people," he concluded.
கடை எரிந்து கொண்டிருந்தது. இருட்டான புகை கிளம்பிக் கொண்டிருந்தது.
பலருக்கு அடி விழுந்தது, பலரிடம் நகைகள், மோதிரங்கள், பெறுமதியான பொருட்கள் பறிக்கப்பட்டன. அந்த இடத்துல வந்து பார்க்கலாம் வெப்பம் ரோட்ல 2-3 கார் நிப்பாட்டப்பட்டு
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local public service announcement.
Welcome, everybody. It's that very special time of day when our listeners get to ask Alice. We've got a lot of questions here for you.
Just pick a nice, juicy one.
Oh, all right. Let's see. This one's from Levi. There's been a lot of zombie shows recently. Do you think they could be real? And could they maybe be nice instead of horrible?
Oh, that is a good one. I have some friends high up in the insurance industry, and they tell me zombies are very real. They're keeping a lid on it for now, but they're completely rethinking life insurance.
Really?
Who want those walking corpses collecting benefits on their own deaths? But the best thing for a zombie outbreak is heavy metal music.
They like it?
Oh, very much so. And eat a good, healthy breakfast beforehand in case you have to run a long way.
Now that is good advice. You're listening to the Lux Relax.
This just in from traffic. If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside.
Oh, I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere. We're live, and we're getting reports about a traffic accident.
One method of determining whether or not someone on the street
Road
was a
maintenance
Tamil or
services have
Sinhala
already been
was the
dispatched,
use
and
of
traffic
word
flow should
testing.
return to normal.
Sinhala
But if you're
Buddhist
planning a
nationalist
quick trip
mobs
out,
would demand
you
a
might
suspected
want to
Tamil
wait a little
person
while
say a
until
word in the
everything
Sinhala
clears up.
language. If that person had a Tamil accent or was unable to say the word, they were beaten to death on the spot. During all of this, In the Welikara High Security Prison in Colombo, 53 Tamil prisoners were murdered by Sinhalese prisoners, something no one has been convicted for until today. We don't have a solid figure on how many people died in the Black July pogroms. According to the Sri Lankan government, the death toll is merely in the hundreds, while the Tamil Center for Human Rights states that roughly 5,500 to 6,000 people were brutally murdered that week. Men, women, and children were sexually violated that entire week, then promptly set on fire, ripped open with broken beer bottles, or hacked to death and decapitated with machetes. Remember that quote at the beginning about starving the Tamil people? The person that said that was none other than former Prime Minister and now President J.R. Jayawardena, who accelerated the Mahaweli colonization effort in the Northeast. He said that in the aftermath of the Black July pogroms. This was the event horizon, the point of no return. This was the event that marked the beginning of the 26-year-long armed conflict known around the world as the Sri Lankan Civil War. Over the next 2.5 decades, the Sri Lankan government, military, police forces, and paramilitary organizations, with hardware bought from all over the world, would
from all world powers
commit unspeakable atrocities against Tamil civilians. This was part 1 of a 3-part docuseries documenting and summarizing the ongoing atrocities against the Tamils committed by the Sri Lankan government. The following part 2, covers the wartime period known as the Sri Lankan Civil War, or the Elam War, starting in 1983 and reaching its brutal end in 2009. Subscribe to the Arunano channel for more.
Really great work, and thank you for bringing this to light to a Western audience, because so many people don't understand about this conflict. They don't understand the reality of the American and Israeli influence on the world. I'm glad a lot of people talk about what's going on in Gaza, but I want more people to be aware of just how malign American influence is all over the world, and how we have to stand up for the oppressed and for people no matter where. Many Americans don't even know about the situation, but do you know your government was there every step of the way? Could you pin the link? Gosh, I'm not in. It's really hard for me to pin because I don't have it easily in my setup. The mods are the people that can make the pinning so much easier than me. Hold on, let me figure it out. I got it. I got you. There we go. Thank you, Bizarre. I know a Tamil guy who went down the anti-Semitic alt-right pipeline because of his family's trauma, and it's truly horrifying. He was my friend in high school until he learned I had a Jewish background. I'm really sorry to hear that. I mean, hate is an expected outcome of oppression.
The Rubicon is a river in Italy. The story goes that at the end of the governorship of Julius Caesar, he was ordered to disband his army and stay north of the Rubicon. When instead Caesar marched his army across the river and towards Rome, it was considered an act of treason and the beginning of the Roman Civil War, at the end of which Caesar would reign victorious. It is said, as he forded the Rubicon, Caesar declared, "The die is cast." In today's vernacular, we refer to a metaphoric Rubicon as the point of no return. Children cross the Rubicon into adulthood. Isolationist governments cross the Rubicon into international politics. Each of us will cast the die several times in our own lives. But we say also that movements, that people, cross the Rubicon when they become irredeemable. When times are bad, we wonder anxiously how far from the Rubicon we are. When does an insurgency become a war? A demonstration? A riot? When is the moment an economy in danger becomes one in collapse? We scan the horizon for the riverbank, hoping we didn't cross it some ways back. The thing about points of no return, the reason we worry over them so much, is it's rare to know where they are until they are some ways behind you. The Rubicon is not the Mississippi. It is a muddy little creek history lost track of for centuries. In the United States, we are increasingly comfortable saying that our democracy is under threat, that we are at risk of descending into authoritarianism. Few are ready to say that the threat has arrived. And I'm referring to myself when I say that. I'm not ready to say it's arrived. No one wants to call it prematurely. The right screams that the left, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, some thinly veiled caricature of the Jews, are ready to kick down your door and bash your teeth in. And I talk about why they say this. Their need to exaggerate the threat from the left so that when they aggress against us, it seems like self-defense, so that we are to blame for any violence we suffer. I talk about the danger of this thinking being accepted. I say the way mainstream conservative politicians and media legitimize these arguments is worrying. But I don't say, they are saying this in preparation to kick down your door and bash in your teeth. I want people to listen to me. I don't want to sound irrational. I don't want to sound like them. And I don't want it to be true yet. Say, for the sake of argument, you are, at this moment, standing ankle deep in the water, desperately wondering how many paces you are from the south bank of the Rubicon. There was a time when any number of things would have been the moment. If you could go back to 2015 and ask, is a candidate promising to jail his political opponents, or a president building concentration camps at the border, or a lame duck provoking an insurrection to overturn a vote, the moment where you would unequivocally call him a fascist? And we would have said, no question. But those moments came, and they went, and we called them troubling, we called them dangerous. But it still seemed alarmist to call them fascist. Journalists and policy wonks still reacted with surprise if you came anywhere near the word.
How can you say that?
You could still run a campaign on reasoning with the right. Republicans have made great strides by being so blatantly horrible that accurately describing their behavior sounds like hyperbole. It seems we are always approaching the other side of the Rubicon, never arriving. We can turn back. The north is still the nearer bank. And there is a knack to this. Everyone expects it to happen all at once, that one day we will wake up to swastikas and kids in cages and unmarked vans disappearing people off the streets. But those all happened on different days. And the swastikas were a natural extension of the barely coded language of the administration's supporters. The cages were the next step after their family separation policy. And the vans were not a surprise after years of police militarization. You don't have to cross the river quickly, just steadily, so that every step makes the last one seem inevitable and the next one obvious. The people who say, this will never happen on our watch, they'll just divert the river south to keep it true. It's losing a little ground on a dozen fronts every day.
Hey, what's up?
It's seeing so many lines crossed, you can't even remember where you used to draw them. It's the readiness to give up on things being better and just wanting them to be quiet. I can't tell you if that moment has come.
The song ended by a blue
I don't know how
anime guy. That guy's one of my favorite. That obviously didn't happen. He was in trouble because of mainstream right-wing accounts, like large right-wing accounts complaining. Not the blue anime guy. I like the blue anime guy because I just want to see him. I just want to see him post just one picture of himself. Just do his whole shtick, not being a blue anime guy. I just want to see it one time. The one thing I will say about anime and what's really interesting about it is Japanese people strongly disapprove of Israel, but their right-wing fans in America love Israel. I wonder why that is. Japanese people think it's what Israel's doing in Palestine is terrible. Because it's like the white fans of Japanese culture in America aren't really fans of Japanese culture.
Call it any better than you. So instead, I'm going to ask you to do something. I want you to decide at this moment what the Rubicon is for you. What is that undeniable instant where if something drastic does not happen immediately, your rights and freedoms are forfeit? And don't show up in my comments saying it already happened years or centuries ago. You're not wrong. But cynicism is acceptance. I'm asking, when would be the time to act? Write it down. Put it on your phone or your dry erase board or post it on your bathroom mirror. So when that moment comes, you will remember that this...
Thank God Hassan got banned. Deserved 100%. Okay, we got him, chat. We found one. Finally. Holy shit. I've been waiting. Beats producerin för Anfänger, alles Anfänger, lol. Thank God, finally. Do you have any clips, bro? Damn. AFD voter identified. Hey, bro. There's one thing I will say to you is you're a German. You're a German. Where you have an all-payer healthcare system. Why are you talking about American politics, bro? Like, what's with you? Also, imagine being a German. The funniest thing about Germany is they got taken over by the USSR. Like, they were conquered. They were beaten. They stood toe-to-toe with Russia, and they failed. Whew. He says his stuff is on YouTube. Wait, he does? I want to see some clips. This guy seems cool.
This was your Rubicon. Because it won't feel like it anymore. It will feel like the next logical step. And ask yourself, when that moment comes, what is the right thing to do? You don't have to have an answer yet, but think on it, because we haven't been doing it. As a leftist, the futures I envision are full of possibility. I am fond of saying there are 100 ways forward and only one way back. So many things we could try if we allow ourselves to let go of white supremacy, of capitalism, of patriarchy. Imagining the future is a kind of world building. To be on the left, at least the way I try to do it, is to desire a spreading out.
Justin's still here.
Pluralizing.
Yeah, I set a new record.
And sharing of power between us all.
Yesterday.
I don't know if that future is likely.
I know.
But I know it's possible.
He beat yesterday by like 20 minutes.
That's not how things look on the right.
It's okay. Jared's taking
For
an
the
ab,
right,
like you can hear
left
him.
to its own
Sleepy
devices.
Jared.
All roads lead to.
Oh yeah, who's the tired one, Jared?
Seth is the tired one.
There's no telling what you're gonna do when the chips are down. Now that the chips are down, what you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that
One of the things that's really calming for anybody is everybody understands that Israel's days are numbered. And that's one of the things where you could just relax. Just like the Crusader states were a fundamentally unsustainable project, Israel's days are numbered. As soon as the United States of America is distracted or consumed with its own crises, and no longer provides unlimited open support for Israel, they're done. And they're gonna crumble. They can commit as many genocides and as many ethnic cleansings, and yet fundamentally Israel's days are numbered. It won't last. It's going to fail.
Down. Dumb.
Netanyahu said today they need to finish the job. Oh, yeah. Ooh-wee.
Oh my god, I almost forgot. Guys, I forgot to make overnight oats last night, and I almost just forgot again. I would have actually cried tomorrow morning.
Oh
You
my
back.
god.
It was horrible today. Horrible.
Oh, man. Trump dashes hopes for last
When are we going to
minute
Weiss?
Canada and Mexico deal ahead of
Have fun.
25% tariffs.
Have fun.
You don't want to go to
He's
Weiss?
also opposing an additional 10% tariff.
You
on
are falling
imports from
asleep.
China.
It is already 7 o'clock.
I'm not
S&P
falling
500
asleep,
loot
first
posts
of all.
biggest loss since December as Trump
It's just my
tariffs
throat being sore.
proceed.
Okay, if you're actually not feeling well and you do need things from Wise, I can go get them.
Mike, how can I say
But
how much I
slept for an
appreciate the
hour,
extended stream
and
today?
I'm working a little bit.
Oh, that's fine.
Well,
I'll probably just go
everybody,
soon and
thank
get
you so much
popsicles
for
unless
hanging
you
out with
want
me
to go to the
today.
store later.
I really
And then
do
I can wait.
appreciate
But
it.
if you don't want to go to the store, I'll probably
I'll
just
be on tomorrow,
do
probably
you?
for another.
probably just go
My
get
subs
popsicles.
count
Told Sam to get you
accurate?
popsicles when he went earlier.
Fake news.
No. I got 777 subs for the day, so here, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing in here that's gonna. We had 5,256 average viewers, 7,179 max viewers. Unique viewers was 55,827. 4,782 unique chatters, 147,697 live views, 903 followers, and 828 subscriptions. There you go. As far as hours watched, I'd have to do the math, but it's a lot. Did I cover the Amaranth robbery? No. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Amaranth, there was an attempted robbery of Amaranth, and apparently they beat her. And she's claiming she shot at one of them. So that sounds pretty terrible. I hope Amaranth recovers. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate you all. And with that, it's time for the outro music. Stay safe. We'll be back on the normal time tomorrow, chat. And if I decide to stream long, I'll stream long again. All right, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Solidarity forever. And of course, free Palestine. And hashtag free Hassan. Hassan did nothing wrong.
Stand up, all victims of oppression, for the tyrants fear your might. Don't cling so hard to your possessions, for you have nothing if you have no rights. So come, brothers and sisters, for the struggle carries on. Listening to Mike from PA unites the world in song. So come come and rally, for this is the time and place. Join the Central Committee and unite the human race.
Uh,